Hey, what's going on, Noel Nation? CJ Wilson here with Dope Talk. Here are some quick hitters. The 2024 recruiting cycle has officially closed. The last signing day was this past week in February. So again, the 2024 recruiting cycle has officially closed. So let's take a look at that 2024 class. These are guys I feel like that may possibly have a chance to probably crack into that rotation. Now, of course, various situations may differ from position to position, injuries, things like that. But just from a talent standpoint, being on campus early and just the overall depth chart as it is, these are some guys that I feel like could have a chance and push for early playing time in Tallahassee in their true freshman year in 2024. Let's start off with Camdon Frier, the receiver out of Lake City, Columbia. He a legacy commit in Camden Frier out of Lake City, Columbia. So again, I think this kid here has a chance to play early. It's been a lot of returns in regards to how he's been performing in tour duty and things of that nature. Also, just being savvy to the playbook early in these stages and just getting acclimated to the college game. These guys have only been on campus for like a month or so. Camdon Frier did participate in bowl practices for the Orange Bowl and also travel for the Orange Bowl. So that was another big plus. He's ahead of the curve in that regard. I was very high on this kid once he committed. Now, of course, he's been committed for a long time and the recruiting buzz kind of died down. But if you look at his film, it's legit. He's bigger than advertised. He's a slot receiver, but he's not your typical skinny, small slot receiver. Standing about 6 foot. I think he could put on 190 pounds, 185 ish. Once he actually gets within the weight room and get built up with Coach Storms, get built by Storms rather. So again, I think Camdon Frier has a chance to possibly crack the rotation. Of course, the slot receiver, we do have Ja'Kai Douglas. I guess you could say Jakai's brother, Jalen Lucas as well. He'll be a utility guy, slot, running back, whatever it may be. And of course, Dustin Hill. I think Dustin Hill played a little bit of slot. Well, not. I think he did play a little bit of slot for FSU this past season. I do think moving forward, he'll probably be more of an outside type of guy. But again, I think Dustin could find his way as far as getting reps into the slot as well. So again, I don't think that Frier come in to be a superstar off the rip. That's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think he has the tools early to play, and also just the maturity, receiver savvy, and things like that. Coming from a football household and just being coming from a good program at Lake City, Columbia, and also just being around football and being on campus early, getting those bowl practices, getting the spring workouts, tour duty, things like that, spring practice. I think in the 2024 season, don't be surprised if Camdon Frier finds his way in the rotation at some shape or form, or hell, it could just be mop-up duty time when we blow out certain teams. But again, I do think Camdon Frier is going to be a guy that could possibly surprise. But like I said, you guys know I'm not really too high on freshman playing, but I think Camdon Frier does have a shot. Moving on to number 3, Charles Lester, 4-star defensive back from the Sarasota area. I like Charles a lot. Shows a lot of maturity if you listen to his interviews and things like that. And also just what Norvell says about him. A lot of work ethic, very football smart, understands football techniques and things like that. How can I put this? He understands what the coaches are asking from him just from early returns and early conversations. I do think Charles needs to develop more physically, but he has taken a liking to the weight room, has been working very hard. But again, that's where you have these early practices to get acclimated and get ahead of the curve, right? Another kid that enrolled early, participating in Orange Bowl practices, carrying over to spring tour duty, and then, of course, spring practice. So I think this kid can find his way into the defensive back rotation. We play a lot of DBs, as you guys saw last year. A lot of true freshmen did play for FSU within the secondary. So I think he does have a chance. End up losing, of course, you lost Jerry Jones at the cornerback position. You lost, of course, Ronaldo Green at the cornerback position as well. So again, it's going to be playing time available. It's going to be a lot of younger guys rather that's battling for those second team reps with FSU, because I feel like the starting cornerbacks will be Azaria Thomas, of course, and Fentrell Cypress. Anything after that is pretty much open season as far as competing. So I think Charles Lester will have a pretty good shot at competing and possibly earning a 2 deep spot for FSU. We'll see how things progress in the spring. But again, I'm very high on Charles Lester. I mean, you look at the tape and things like that, it does stand out. There's a reason why Alabama, Nick Saban, and Kirby Smart in Georgia was very high on Charles Lester and recruited him very aggressively prior to committing to FSU. So I think FSU is in the. I'm sorry, rather I think Charles Lester rather could be competing for early playing time for the 2024 season. Moving on, number 2, and these two guys, like I said, I'm really not too bullish on freshmen playing, but these two guys have a lot of confidence in probably playing early. Kam Davis. What more can I say about Kam? Big time playmaker out of Albany, Georgia. Already on campus, wise beyond his years. You hear the kid talk, a lot of wisdom, a lot of maturity within his words, understands the assignment, understands competing and things like that. And just a mature kid, what can I say? Being committed for the long haul, had pushes for Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, trying to flip his commitment, stuck with FSU. If you look at Kam, and he doesn't look like a true freshman. I feel like he's probably one of the most physically developed running backs, or players rather, that we've had in a long time. He just he fits the bill. Looks like one of those guys that can come in and play off the rip, and he has the chance to play off the rip. I do think he's been doing very well in tour duty. He said he wants to play around 215 pounds, mostly muscle. He's very close to the weight right now, and that's a true freshman coming in. Running back is one of the more easier positions to transition from, high school to college and college to the NFL. It's just more so this natural talent at the running back position. I feel like Kam has that natural talent. Big time playmaker, was a quarterback in high school, kind of like a big time running, and what number 3, right? Kind of like a big time running back we had back in the day in Cam Akers. If you look at his film, that's what reminded me of Kam Davis, Cam Akers playing. So again, I think we have a chance to have something special in Kam Davis down the line during his career at FSU. I think he's going to be a big time playmaker, but for the 2024 season, he has a big time chance to compete. We do lose Trey Benson, lost him to the NFL, end up losing Rodney Hill to the transfer portal. As you guys know, we are talking about recruits and prospect for the 2024 season that FSU has signed. So again, On the Trail is brought to you by Realtor Jude Paul. Jude is a realtor in Southwest Florida, but services the entire state of Florida. Whether you're trying to buy your home or sell your home, Jude is your guy. Again, you're trying to buy your home or sell your home, Jude is willing to donate 20% of the closing costs back to you guys. So again, money back in your pocket. So 20% of the closing costs can go back to you. Also, Jude is a big time FSU fan, right? So knows, try to take care of Knowles. So again, try to buy your home or sell your home through Jude. He's willing to donate some of the proceeds to the Battles End Collective. So again, tap in with Jude at www.homesforknowles.com. Again, www.homesforknowles.com. Let's start the new year 2024 in a new house, and Jude to take care of you. And we also lost walk-on running back C.J. Campbell to FAU. As you guys know, C.J. Campbell wasn't your typical walk-on running back. He was a really good running back and had some productive snaps for FSU. So I said that to say this. You have Roydell Williams, a transfer for Alabama, Keziah Holmes, and Lawrence toward Philly. And then you have Kam Davis. So again, the opportunity is there for sure to play and take some reps. I think it was already stated by the coaching staff that they feel confident that Kam Davis will have a role in playing the 2024 season. I do as well. I think Kam Davis could be one of those impact true freshmen for sure. Moving on to number 1, tight end Landen Thomas. What more can I say about Landen Thomas? I'm very high on this kid. I know he dropped in the 247. Well, not necessarily the 247, just the recruiting rankings across the board. He had a pretty decent drop, but again, the film didn't drop off. If you watch his film in high school, big time playmaker, a matchup nightmare for linebackers, defensive backs, whatever it may be. Already physically imposing, 6'4", 232, says you want to play around 235 or within his true freshman year, which is great weight for a true freshman. I think from a talent standpoint, this is the best tight end the FSU has brought in a long time. From the raw talent standpoint, physical stature, everything combined that you need. He can line up in the slot and make some plays. He did a lot of that in high school. So I think Landen Thomas is going to be a matchup nightmare. And just from the position itself, we lost a lot this past season. We lost Jared, of course, Jaheim Bell, the tight end transfer from South Carolina, ended up going to the NFL draft. Marquise Douglason. This is a guy I wanted to keep for FSU. I felt like he'd had a decent role for FSU this upcoming season, a more productive role with losing Jaheim Bell, but he elected to transfer to Arizona State. So as far as production coming back, we have, Jackson West. He ended up taking a bigger role later in the season. If FSU could get him to take another step, that'll be productive. And of course, your returning starting tight end will be Kyle Morlock. So I think Landen Thomas has a very big chance to come into FSU and be tight end number 2 off the rip. You guys know how much Mike Norvell likes to use his tight ends in different situations. So I think the opportunity is there for FSU and Landen Thomas and FSU to make a big time play, make a big time impact early. And also, FSU knew the numbers we had in the tight end room and knew what we lost in the tight end room as far as transfer portal, NFL draft, whatever it may be, and they elected not to take a tight end within the transfer portal. In my opinion, that tells me that they are very high on Landon Thomas, what he could do pretty soon at FSU. They feel like he could be a playmaker and factor into the game plan within the 2024 season along with Cal Morlock. So again, my number one impact freshman this upcoming season will be Landon Thomas. I feel like uh, he has a chance to make a big impact for FSU. I think the stars are aligning for him as far as an opportunity standpoint and also just natural raw talent that FSU hasn't had in the tight end room in a very long time. Combined with his size of 6'4", 230 pounds, I think Landon Thomas will be a big time playmaker for FSU. We'll have a chance to compete for playing time within the 2024 season. So we're going to be these are guys want to watch, and it's going to be very exciting to see how they develop within the 2024 season. We also will see how they will respond to spring practice when spring practice starts within the next month or so. So again, we have more information coming from Dope Talk. This is CJ Wilson. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Let me know in the comments. Hell, I could have missed the guy. Let me know in the comments who you guys feel like would be the impact true freshman for the 2024 season, or who has the biggest chance to play and carve out a role for the 2024 season with FSU. So let me know in the comments who you guys think out of this 2024 recruiting class, who will be the guy or guys rather that will make an impact and play for the NOLES of 2024.